Hi, and welcome to MarylandReporter.com's weekly podcast. I'm here with Maryland politics reporter Tom LoBianco. I'm Andy Rosen with editor and publisher Len Lazarick. And if you haven't heard enough about it 6 months in advance, we're going to break down the start of the gubernatorial race, which really, I guess, semi-officially kicked off last week with a formal announcement by Governor O'Malley that he will be seeking re-election against Bob Ehrlich, who announced a few weeks ago. We're going to pull out a few issues that we think are starting to emerge as important topics that we'll see developing as we start to move toward November. And we're going to start off with one that Len wanted to bring up. Len, what do you think people need to know?
What do I think people need to know? Well, O'Malley made 11 announcements, and I think Ehrlich made only 7 or 8. So that shows that O'Malley is ahead. No, seriously, folks, it's clear that spending, taxes, jobs are going to be the key issues in the race. And as a matter of fact, jobs is a key issue for both O'Malley and for Ehrlich. And they obviously have different takes on it. Don't you agree, Tom?
Absolutely. One of the things I think that we've seen, which has been very fascinating, is how jobs are talked about. When O'Malley made his kickoff announcement, the first of his many announcements was down in Fells Point, and they chose a shipyard. You could see it was down Fells Point and across the harbor, lining the backdrop to O'Malley and his family on the stage, were ships. A sign of Baltimore's industry. And he talked a lot about jobs. And, of course, not far away was the Seahurt Marine Terminal, where they just signed a massive new lease. Now, Ehrlich said he was not going to give press comments that day so as not to trample on O'Malley's big day.
But he did happen to mention that everyone in Maryland would benefit from a good debate, especially the 230,000 unemployed Marylanders. A little swipe at the economy under O'Malley. But, a lot of these factors are beyond either of these men's control. I don't think anyone can argue that O'Malley is prolonging the recession single-handedly when the entire nation still is starting to recover. So
no, and he points rightly to national figures that showed Maryland picked up, and I get confused with the number. I believe it's 35,800 jobs. That's the number, or is it 38,000? In any case, picked up more jobs. 35.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Picked up more jobs in than any other state in the nation. And there's some argument about, well, was that a lag due to the snowstorm? Except if it was a lag due to the snowstorm, why didn't Virginia pick up more jobs?
Unemployment stayed stable. It didn't go down. So, there were a lot of ways you can slice that. But
what's fascinating about the jobs is that it's how you talk about it, because Ehrlich will routinely throw in the counterpoint that, yes, the jobs growth was stupendous, but there are still all these many thousands, tens of thousands of people who are out of work from the start of this recession, who are still out of work. And what caught my ear about this is a debating tactic from the two of them is what you end up talking about. One number will be the massive number that Ehrlich puts out there, which is the total number of unemployed. And then another number will be the sort of optimistic uptick number, which is what O'Malley's been relying on in his campaign, talking about the stellar growth that Maryland has experienced when compared to the rest of the state.
On the very day that O'Malley decided to announce his re-election, the newspapers were filled with the reports that Northrop Grumman, the defense contractor, would locate its headquarters in Virginia instead of in Maryland. The two states had been competing to see who could win the business. Of course, both states still have a lot of employees from that company, but there were some different reactions to that. O'Malley had gone after this hard, really tried to lure these people, and then apparently it wasn't as big of a deal to get them since we still have all those jobs once they decided to go to Virginia. Now, they say it's not about the business climate, it's more about real estate. This was something that specifically brought it home last week. Now, That'll do it for this week's podcast. I'd like to thank Tom LoBianco. He's at tomlobianco.com. He contributes to centermaryland.org, and he also is a contributor to WYPR. Len, always a pleasure. We'll be back with another podcast next week. Thank you.